Hi guys, and welcome back to North Node Metaphysical. For you that don't know, my name is Stacy. I'm the owner of North Node, and this is Kelly. And we've been coming on back and forth and just talking to you guys. Today, I will do a collective reading, but we're also going to talk about how to start forgiving ourselves for mistakes that we perceive as mistakes in our life. And what that looks like as you grow older, how you process certain dates that were meaningful before, or the holidays, just in getting through, honoring to love ourselves even with our perceived mistakes. So, how are you today, Kel?
I'm doing all right. I am dealing with one of those anniversary dates that brings up a part of my life that I've had to do a lot of healing with. And so, yeah, sometimes those anniversary dates sneak up on you and you just, it may not even be something you're aware of, but your body always remembers.
Yes.
So,
yes, ma'am. It definitely does.
But yeah, today is just one of those days where normally I would be really sad and depressed and beating myself out because I allowed myself to be stupid for so many years, according to myself.
Yeah, that's a perception.
Right.
Because there was beautiful things that came out.
There was. There was. I got two beautiful children, and I started to find myself. I've realized, I had to go through a lot this time around, finding myself.
I think it's more of it just feels like those times in our life, the 20s, the 30s, those moments in our life feel like they get wasted when it feels like we weren't living our truth completely. But yet, in those moments, we get beautiful things out of them. And Spirit doesn't give us a, U-turn, stop, danger, head, back up, don't take that number, don't go out that night, don't, we don't get those. We get free will and we choose. And yet, as much as there is that, we can be like, that person wasted my time, or I wasted so much time in this relationship of any kind of ships,
Right.
A lot of people have to deal with families gone, there's no family left, or family looks different. So holidays look different and it feels different. And we can take ourselves back to coulda, shoulda, would have.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't because you don't know what you don't know. And we have went through so many energy shifts, and there is divine timing in everything.
Yeah.
Everything is divine timing. And what we do with it was what we needed to do to get here right now. And some of us took windy roads, but it's beautiful when you look at it from beginning to where you're at, to the lessons you have learned through those things, is what I have found. Today is really hard on Kelly because she needs to give herself some more self-love on this subject. There's a lot of pain for her and a long time that she spent, but she's gonna get there.
I will. I'm getting there. I had a change of perspective today looking at this date. I trying really, really hard just to look at certain pinpoints along the journey, certain opportunities. Okay, what was I thinking at that point?
Yeah,
not how I would react now, because I'm upset with who I was then. Because but I wasn't.
But that is.
But and that's because I know what I know now because of all my experiences that I've had from that point. So what I'm doing now is looking back at myself without judgment and just trying to figure out, okay, where was your mindset? Why did you make this decision? What were your options? Were you looking? Did you see any other options? That kind of thing. To try to understand myself. at that place and time, why I made those choices, why I made those decisions.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, you're so stupid, I would never do that. I wouldn't do that now, absolutely not, because I learned so many lessons within that situation.
Yeah.
But no, would I repeat it? No. No.
But it is something that needs to be cleared out
Yeah.
and looked at. And I think there's a lot of people out there and people who watch us that have a lot of shame and guilt that they leave on themselves from a billion different kinds of situations.
Oh, yeah.
That we get ourselves into. But the first thing that you can do to help yourself is acknowledge. It's like anything else, acknowledging that you've done things that you wouldn't do from being older by learning the lessons.
Right.
I mean, you have to go through each one of those, learning to have no regrets. And that's hard to do sometimes because of the way that things play out in the end. But and it can really feel like you wasted time. But it's time that we needed to still get to where we are in your whatever journey where you're at on your journey now. It's your choice to go outside and turn left or turn right, or to talk to that person or not talk to that person. Everything you do has a reaction, and it goes downhill.
Oh yeah, one choice affects so many other things and so many other choices, and what options do you have, and it makes a difference. And I used to beat myself up really bad because I felt like I should have seen more red flags. I should have been smarter. I should have been braver. I should have been a million and one things that I wasn't.
But you were.
But I had to recognize I wasn't that. Who was I? Where was I? What was my mindset? What was my scope of my life? Because I can look back and see the whole picture, but when you're in the moment, sometimes all you can see is what right there in that moment. So that makes a huge difference,
Well, and loving that girl.
Right.
And not being mad at her for not
Right.
feeling like you
would feel
smart
now,
enough,
yeah,
or good enough, or any of that, because that was just your perception of yourself because of the programming around you of how you should be,
right,
and what you should and should not do.
Right.
In merging with her is going to be very important. When I did that, when I knew that I needed to go into my little self, my little Stacy self, and love her the way that I love my kids.
Right.
And so it was the most amazing. I don't know if I've ever told you this story, or not.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
So I went in to deep meditation to go back to my inner, like one of my memories that wasn't like a really bad memory I was jumping into, but it was still me.
Okay.
When I got to the door of the house, and I was me now as an adult, the little me opened the door. The little me on that timeline was waiting for me to show up.
Okay.
I knew that I knew right away that she had been waiting for me.
Right.
And so we walked into my old bedroom, and she sat on the bed. And I just told her that I was sorry, and that we would make it, and that we were going to be okay, that it would be hard, but we would make it. And I hugged my younger self, and I walked back downstairs, and I left that house. And when I woke up that day, it was the first moment that I felt like I had actually, instead of being Stacy, the kid, Stacy, the teenager, all these things of regret, I had merged us all together.
Right.
And it's very important, I think, right now for you to realize that that person is who needs the love now for that. And you deserve to give that to yourself. And, that's just, my insider
Right.
perspective.
No, and you're right, because a couple of days ago, I mean this is a very sudden shift for me. Because a couple of days ago I was still very much in that same, dreading the day, because I'm gonna just beat myself up with all my mistakes and flaws and shoulda, woulda, couldas. That's the anniversary tradition, and it's been probably a couple of days, maybe 3 days, that I just decided I was gonna look at things differently and start looking at the parts that needed to be recognized a little more, maybe I overlooked. Just kind of trying to breeze through it. I mean, because this isn't a new area for me to be doing any work in. I've been doing work in this area for a while.
But it's always different.
Oh, it
On
is.
divine, like where we're at that time.
Yeah, it's always
you see
different
a bigger,
pieces. Yeah, it's always different
get
pieces.
more.
It's like you peel the onion layer and there's another piece, and you peel the onion layer and then another piece, but the layers are really thin. So, I mean, you get little pieces and it takes a while before you can see the bigger picture.
And this is what, even collectively, people are going through, because the energy is different. If you haven't noticed that the energy around you is different, then you're just going to stay in 3D. Just what you see, mundane things, go to work, have kids, have a family, get a
Right,
fenced in backyard, go to church, do all the things.
right.
Then you're just programmed that way. But
Mhm.
if you can feel these energy shifts and feel inside yourself that you're being pulled out to have more room for your crystalline body,
Right.
to hold the knowledge, the wisdom from before,
Mhm.
and many lifetimes that you've carried things with you, it is time to be able to love those parts. It will ultimately change the world. It will change the universe.
Right.
That's how important each one of us is. With our little light is very powerful if you use it correctly.
Right.
And unconditional love is very important. That I will always speak on that, and that comes with unconditionally loving the parts of ourselves that made mistakes, that made
Yeah.
things hurt for other people.
Yeah.
Because, we all have them. You either learn from them or you don't. And sometimes you just have to understand that you are where you are, until you move, until it's time to do something different. And with these energies are so powerful that if you are still in 3D, it is going to take your breath away.
Yeah.
You're going to need answers, and all I can tell you is to start with acknowledging that you deserve love, and start forgiveness. I've had a hard time with forgiveness,
Oh, it's not easy.
because I can forgive and still be Stacy, still do what my heart would want me to do.
Mhm.
But I don't forget.
Right.
I don't forget. And
Well, you don't have to forget to forgive.
yeah, I mean, it's just something that,
You don't know. It doesn't.
I will never give someone 2 times
Right.
to stab me in the back anymore. Before that, you could have had so many swords in me, and I would still be laying there asking for more. You know,
Yeah. No, I understand.
you know, really, you guys being careful on, setting boundaries. And it's hard at first when you have had no boundaries and you are a people pleaser.
Oh, yeah.
And you start getting boundaries, you feel like a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you feel, because it's not normal. It's not something that you gave yourself, that you loved yourself.
Right.
We don't believe we're worthy enough.
Yep.
And it's very important, those boundaries. And I've had to have to fight that part of me. That has been my fight, um, is to just let go. And I got a new tattoo. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but it says let them. And that's been my whole journey. Let them hate me, let them walk away, let them go,
Yeah.
let them run from your energy. Just let them be free to do. If you're in a cage and you're only doing something because you're expected to do that every day, like
Right.
Kelly was,
Yeah.
for 25 years.
Yep.
Made to be in that cage, and that cage was all she could do. She couldn't fly, she couldn't go outside those boundaries. Um, you just stay stuck going in a full square.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no
You're just
setting
doing
yourself
laps.
free.
No, you're just doing laps.
Yeah. And it's time to stop living like that. It is, the spirit is saying, it is time. Live your authentic self. It doesn't matter the people who get pissed off, then they don't love you in the first place. Because someone who really loves you wants you to be happy above all things, even if that hurts them.
Absolutely.
That's love.
Yeah, absolutely. And it took me a long time to understand that about myself. I mean, it really did, that I don't have to do something to earn
Love.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Affection, love, acknowledgement, any of those. I didn't have to work for it. I didn't have to
earn it.
I didn't have to earn it. I didn't have to do something, if I was just me being me in their presence, that was earned enough by just that.
Yeah, because that's powerful. And now she's been married to an amazing man.
Yes.
And she's got to love herself. She's been able to be safe enough to let
Yes.
herself be herself.
Yeah, my husband, he helped me heal from almost 45 years of damage in just a short period of time, because he had no rules, no expectations, no limits for me. If I wanted to do something, he was always supportive, encouraging. He would even research it with me so he understood it.
And that's love. Love doesn't keep us in a box. It lets us fly.
Right.
It lets us be free to say the things that we need to say and that we really truly feel, so we don't have to keep them to ourselves. Yep. And then start feeling like we're holding secrets when they're not really secrets. They're who you are. Right. They're what you need in your life. The people who love you, who truly love you, will allow you to do that. And if there's resistance from another person for you needing to be free yourself, then I would definitely second guess that relationship in your life. Yep. And that's as honest.
And it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how long you've been in that relationship. If something suddenly changes and you're feeling judged differently.
Well, and the thing with marriage, okay, you have to change with the tide of times in a marriage.
Yeah,
you're this one person when you get married, right? You're like way younger, you're inexperienced, you're not very wise, for some of us, done it right. Here's your crystal. I'm proud of you. People like me, right? And people who have had to have a rough journey to get to know self, it was not that way.
No. There was no, there was nothing about feeling safe. There was nothing about being encouraged. There was nothing about feeling protected and supported. No, that was not there before. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
In fact, the exact opposite was, they were so judgmental on themselves, they projected it onto me. So, when my mom was feeling insecure about her body image, then she would start nagging on me about my body image. When my body image was starting to look better and then she felt jealous, well, then of course she started nagging about I needed to do just the exact opposite. And I enjoy myself and enjoy the food and gain some more weight.
And that is the programming that has happened to a lot of us. And we brought ourselves into those families for a reason, for a long time. I'm like, nah, screw that. I did not do this to myself.
right?
But I did.
Yeah, you
And I
did.
know I would not be able to be where I'm at now. I really have very few regrets because if I took anything out, something would change in my life. I know now that spirit will put every situation for my highest best, even if it takes 6 days of burning or whatever that situation is
Yeah.
to learn. And me and Kelly talk about the collective all the time, and the ones that watch us, the people who come in here, we really need you to understand that if you are someone who has gifts and you are fighting against them, you will be pushed and things taken away until you sit down to find out who you are.
Yep.
And I'm trying to give y'all a heads up.
You know, we are waving the caution flags. We've got the warning lights out for you. I don't know what else to tell you.
You're gonna have to learn to love yourself enough to understand that you deserve to be completely authentic to yourself.
Yes.
And if that pisses people off, then so be it. Then their contracts with you are over.
Right.
It doesn't mean go and be mean. It just means honor yourself.
Yeah.
Honor who you are and every choice you've made along this journey, because when it's your turn to shine, you understand what's going on with you. If you're just stuck in 3D and that's your life and you're okay with that and you have nothing pulling you to this higher calling of love, then keep doing what you're doing. I mean, that is your journey and that's okay too. It's free will. But there are lots of people like me, like Kelly, that had to live these tainted lives for so long,
right,
so that we knew what it felt like to finally fly.
Oh, definitely.
And what that love is, and that you don't have to earn anyone's love. You either love someone or you don't. It's like being a little bit pregnant.
It doesn't happen. Yeah, there's no in between on that one.
And to forgive someone, think about what that really means on an eternal level for yourself, because it's easy to say that you forgive someone or think about it, that get yourself revved up. I can do this. It's easier just to forgive them. I can do this. All we do is put that other person through hell if we truly can't forgive, because you'll treat them different. You'll keep something from yourself back from them. So then you have two people that aren't happy,
right,
who are just scared to do the inevitable because of what it may or may not look like.
Right.
So the message coming through, I don't even need the cards. It has to do with self-love in every aspect of departments, levels of your life.
Yeah.
And honor that you were where you were at for a reason. And even if it's ugly and you wish that it would never happen and you have any hatred whatsoever toward that self,
yeah,
make sure you merge those together. It truly does help.
Yeah.
It did tremendous for me to love that little girl that I hated for being vulnerable. I hated for not stopping it, not being big enough, not getting away soon enough.
Right.
I hated that part of me. It felt stupid and ugly and dirty. And you have to go back to those places, whether that's with drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever has been your kryptonite.
Yep.
And love that. Love that it took you where you needed to be. And when you can do that, you will see how you will not accept any other person to come into your life and mistreat you.
Oh yeah, it comes with a major boundary.
Yeah. And which is hard, but you can do it.
Yeah, it comes with a major boundaries. Yeah, but it won't be hard at the time because it's not like something you're doing that you feel bad about. It's something that it is non-negotiable. Period.
Yes, for your betterment.
Yeah.
It's for you to go forward.
Yeah, it's just non-negotiable.
Yeah, I
It
have
is
no
what-
choice.
Yeah, sorry, yeah,
If I
not
go,
sorry.
if I go into if I make a choice, because it's my choice, to go and drive to someone's house that I have chose to keep out of my life for the betterment of me, not love, because I love them.
Right.
They're not healthy
Yeah.
for me.
Right.
If I choose to go there and put that back in my life, it's only going to have a feel good moment of maybe 24 hours before the same shit starts back over.
Right.
With those relationships. So
Yeah.
you have to have boundaries. And that's why I say I can unconditionally love you from sitting in this fucking office.
Right.
Freaking office. And I just really want you guys to understand that we as a collective, as a unit, as one, have the power to change this world the way we want it to be.
Yeah.
If you want to see it better, be better. Don't be fake.
Right.
Don't. It is not easy, not at all, as a Scorpio rising, for me to get on here and tell y'all and be vulnerable. I do this because this is my lesson. I have to go toward that North Node. I can't put it down.
Right.
I am telling the truth. I am telling my perspectives. You can honor that or you don't have to honor that. But either way, it's my truth. And that's how I set my boundaries. And it's coming, you guys. If you are meant for a higher purpose on this planet right now, it is here for you.
Yeah.
And if you do not let go and let it happen, you're gonna set things ablaze. And it's just gonna all fall down, tower, boom. And some of y'all, maybe that's what it's gonna take. But I promise you, it's a lot easier if you do it. You do that for yourself.
No, I'd much rather, realize that I have this area I need to work on and voluntarily do it myself. Because spirit has done it for me in the past and I'm not a big fan of it. So yeah, I will do it myself. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's just having the conscious awareness of self.
Yeah.
Who are you? Like, truly ask yourself that question. What have you been doing the same thing over again every day that you no longer know what makes you happy or what you like? If you were to just not have anyone to be codependent on, or because even in marriages, you have individuals, you are an individual, you are still you.
Right.
And that person should still be them. And you should still be able to be who you are and tell that person everything and it be okay whether they like it or not.
Right.
Because that's friendship for one.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that arguments and you don't have to talk and those things go on, but it means that at least you're not carrying a bunch of things that are making you not love yourself.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to communicate. You have to.
In every relationship. It don't matter what it is. I told Kelly shortly into our relationship that I'm going to have to tell you every time I get mad or upset or hurt, not mad because I get hurt. My feelings get hurt. And because if I didn't tell her, it would build resentment. And I know how that goes for me. I will just hold it in until I just can't deal with it anymore.
Right.
And then my Aquarius comes and cuts. Oh.
Right. Poof, gone.
I'm just gone.
Yep.
I'm ghost girl.
But I'm okay with that. I would prefer her tell me every time, when I irritate her, when I upset her, when I, hurt her feelings. I would much rather know than her be resentful and destroy,
Well, it's just a part of who I am now.
Yeah, I would much rather her
I
do
have
that.
to be able to.
Because I'm always so worried about, that's one of my scars that I have to heal. If someone changes on me, what did I do? That's usually my first response. What did I do? How did I do it so that I don't do it again? And that's always been me, always. And I think it's just a trauma response, and I get that, but.
Well, yeah, and it is, and I think, when you're in a relationship with somebody and they know you have these trauma responses to things.
Yeah.
It's not like they have to walk on eggshells around us. It's
No,
a respect thing of, okay, if you're gonna slam something
yeah,
in the middle of nothing, that are, let me know first so that I don't jump out of my skin because
exactly.
you have wounding from
Yeah,
violence
right,
or guns going on,
yeah,
whatever that is. And in any relationship, whether it's just mine and Kelly's relationship
yeah,
and respecting the boundaries and that we have set as older women in our
yeah,
lives and respecting that all the way to marriages to our children,
yes,
we deserve to be an individual. You can be all coupled up. That's wonderful.
yeah,
Just make sure that's truly who you are now.
yeah,
This is truly what you want, because the season that's coming is that if it's not meant to be in your life and you are quote unquote a chosen, you have a mission on this
right.
planet right now and you know it,
Mhm.
you will be separated from things that no longer serve you and they're not going to care how you feel about it.
Yeah, no,
Or you'll just sit in your own hell.
yeah, one of the two. It's either gonna be ripped away because you know better and you need to be paying attention to your the signs that spirit has been sending you in regards to your path, or you've had all the warnings you're going to get and you're going to just sit in it.
And guys, ladies, if you know that you are here for a purpose,
Mhm.
to change yourself, and love others. And and if you are one of these people, you will know.
Right.
I mean, you'll know. And if
Mhm.
you don't have those feelings, then your mission is just important. But sorry, not sorry. You're like the filler people in the movie. That was your sole purpose this time, is to be the backdrop people. And I know that kind of sounds, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or like, uh,
Well, no, I mean, we all have different journeys. We all have different paths. And just those that are not in the lead roles are supported by the supporting roles, the fill-ins, that they just, they're in the background, but it would make a huge difference if they weren't there in the background.
yeah,
So just because they're in the background doesn't mean that it's
it's
not
less important.
as important. It just,
It helps the ones that are here
right,
go
you were
further
just
and help
supporting someone else's journey in the process of
Yeah.
going through your own.
because their soul still has to grow.
Right.
Their soul has to grow and evolve.
Mhm.
And so a lot of us came in this time to for the first time ever, that no planet has ever experienced this. And this is part of the Galactic Federation stuff.
Right.
It is massive that this ascension to at least a 5D frequency
Mhm.
of love, of unconditional love, can be reached. And there's way higher than that. But then
Right.
there is, and you can go back and forth depending on what you're doing in your life. Like if
Mhm.
you have to be grounded and in earthly things, then you have to do earthly things.
Right.
There's different levels to stuff, and then there's 0 point, and that is where you then sit yourself down and you're feeling everything and nothing at all,
Yeah.
and you have to wait for your next bat signal, basically.
Yeah.
What do I need to channel next? What do I need
Yeah.
to do? What should I talk to this person about?
Mhm.
What death rebirth is, coming in my life.
Right.
And y'all that are going through that know you're going through it.
Oh, definitely.
And those of
There's
you
no
that
doubt.
aren't, we appreciate the roles that you've had to play in our life.
Yeah.
To get us where we need to be.
Yeah.
And so, with all that being said, I hope it helps. Can you think of anything else in the forgiveness, self-love stuff besides what we usually say?
Yeah, I mean, but just remember that you for giving someone forgiveness doesn't erase or remove their accountability. It disconnects you energetically from that person so that person can no longer be draining your energy by turning it negative, and that you sever that connection so you can get that energy back to you somewhere else. Yes, you are. But that's okay. We love you anyways.
Wah, wah, wah.
I know.
She loves me.
I do.
Okay, guys, well, coming to North Node, come see us, get on the websites, do all the things.
Yep.
Please share, like, follow, hit the bell.
Yes.
That would help tremendously. I would really appreciate that. And until next time, guys, I love you.
Bye.